After having to be given no choice, Black Goku has now been sent back into the future, but of course not before destroying Future Trunks' time machine, where Black Goku is now openly free to do whatever he may choose to do within the future now that the time distortion has fixed itself. Son Goku Vegeta alongside everyone else is wondering who exactly Black is, how he was able to obtain that time ring as stated by Beerus and Whis, and of course going back into the future in order to pursue Black. Welcome Dragon Ball fans to my official Dragon Ball Super episode 51 review and breakdown entitled Feelings That Transcend Time, Trunks and Maya, leading into next week's exciting episode of episode 52, in which case Gohan will finally be encountering Future Trunks after years of not seeing him, in which case is going to be very interesting. Now before I go any further into this review, guys, a fair warning that this video will contain loads of spoilers, so if you guys don't want anything ruined for you, simply fast forward the video, go watch the episode, come back so we can talk more Dragon Ball Super. Do not cry in the comment section below about being spoiled by the thumbnail or any of that, because nothing is being said or shown that you guys don't already know. The translations to this episode, in case you guys are wondering how I was able to pick up on the dialogue prior to the subs coming out, was translated by none other than Herms98 on Twitter. As always, he is the first to provide us with the translations, so thank you so much, sir, for that. The subs will be out tomorrow morning. Now, quick plug before we begin, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for all latest in Dragon Ball news, updates, what if battles, and Xenoverse 2, alongside much more daily uploads and daily content for all of you guys to watch and enjoy. So I thank you all for supporting the channel greatly, as I always do. Be sure to spread the word about Unreal ENT Gaming, in which I thank you guys so much so for that. Now, this has been an absolutely crazy week for Dragon Ball. We have lots of Dragon Ball announcements. In case you guys have missed out on the episodes 52, 53, and 54 spoilers, check out the description down below, guys, for the latest videos as to what may happen with Zamasu, Universe 10, the Realm of the Kais, the Time Ring, Goku encountering Zamasu. It's only getting better from here. After reviewing your comments, after seeing your overall feedback, looking at your theories and speculations, a lot of you guys seem to also have your own opinions as to how powerful Black truly may be, if he possibly has a hidden transformation, if he's working with Zamasu, if he is Zamasu, if he is in fact some sort of Makaioshin. Your theories, your speculations have been running rapid. Now, during this episode, we actually have a lot of lore building that leads into the next episode, of course. Now, first things first, before we get into what happened in this week's episode, Gohan and Trunks will be reuniting for the first time in a long-ass time next week, which I'm really intrigued as to what's going to happen. We see Trunks, we see Gohan sitting, they're actually sitting on a swing watching Pan play, so maybe this is foreshadowing the precious, just the qualities about life, because obviously we see the birth of a child. This child is trying to grow up in a free world and try to, grow up without having to go through pain, and Trunks knows all about pain, so maybe perhaps Trunks is trying to explain to Gohan, like, listen, this timeline is not safe either. You have to go on ahead and go back to your roots and just, have to fight for your family, because ultimately enough, Gohan has a lot to fight for, but ultimately he just never actually put the time into perfecting his craft, because obviously he has a family now, he has to worry about other things, but nevertheless, Gohan has to fight more for now than ever before. He has a child, he has a woman at home, so obviously his family, his mom, so I think that at this point, Trunks is going to try to get into Gohan's head to remind him just how precious life is, but nevertheless, guys, we see Zamasu in next week's episode, which is pretty cool, because this is going to be an indication that Beerus, Whis, and Goku are going to be traveling to Universe 10, the Realm of the Kais, to see what exactly is going on with this Zamasu character. And of course, we see him walking very ominous, may I say. He looks absolutely badass. I really hope that when he fights Goku, this does end up being a really interesting fight, because Beerus and Whis did say how Black had very similar ki to Zamasu, which is very interesting. So we get to see Future Trunks going on ahead to meet Gohan, while Whis and Beerus and Whis are going to Universe 10 to investigate Black's ki, in which case next week's episode is entitled Master and Pupil Reunion, Son Gohan and Future Trunks. Now, Beerus and Whis think that they have felt Black's ki somewhere before, and they're going to have to look more into it, pretty much conducting their own investigation as to what the hell is going on. We see Bulma, she's pretty much explaining to everybody that this current time machine, the one that Cell used in the future to go back into the past, was unable to operate because it was dirty, it was broken down, and actually she appoints Krillin and Piccolo to do the cleanup of pretty much everything, which I find very disrespectful. I mean, how many Piccolo fans out there, right? I mean, why is Piccolo stuck doing, house chores and cleaning and babysitting and stuff? I think it's completely disrespectful, but in any case, guys, the animation for this week's episode was alright. I much rather prefer last week's episode over this one, because last week's episode had a bit more detail than this, but we see Bulma talk about how future Bulma is much smarter than she is, because because she's going to be using future Bulma's notes to repair the time machine. And of course, she's always talked about how she's always wanted to study the time machine, but she pretty much didn't have any time, nor did she know where the capsule was, because she pretty much sealed off Cell's time machine somewhere in the house and she couldn't find it or whatnot. But actually, she asks her parents for, you know, to come back from vacation and help her out and whatnot. In the meantime, we see Pilaf. He's talking about his little squad, and he mentions Mai and future Trunks. You know, he just catches a glimpse of Mai, and he's like, "So you're Mai, huh?" And she's like, "Yes, I am." And that's when he begins to explain the backstory of when Mai was a part of the Resistance. Now, Black wiped out half of humanity within the future timeline. Now, to some people, that may not be a big deal, because keep in mind, remember Super Buu? He killed everybody. Kid Buu killed everybody. So Kid Buu / Super Buu, they were the only ones to literally wipe out all life on Earth. Black hasn't done that necessarily yet. I think he's taking his time, but at the same time, as of right now, half of humanity is gone, and we see Mai and the Resistance try to fight him off. They're dropping buildings on him and stuff. It's pretty insane, but Black turns out to have survived, and of course, in pursuit of Mai, Trunks steps in to try to, you know, help her out and whatnot, which is a pretty grim situation because he has no other choice but to help her because Black is trying to kill her and whatnot. And we see how, you know, Trunks pretty much talked about how there was a massive struggle in the future and how every single time he tried to fight Black off, it never ever worked. So, but we see Goku and Vegeta, actually specifically Goku, ask Whis for training, and it was pretty funny because he went up to him and he was just begging him for some training because obviously Goku wants to improve. He was saying Detsu, Detsu, Whis-sama, Detsu, Detsu, and Whis didn't pretty much respond to him, pretty much shrugged him off. And we see Vegeta enter the gravity room while Goku went off to Kaio-sama's planet, King Kai's planet, presumably enough for training. And King Kai's pissed because this dude like tore his planet up. I mean, like even while prior being there, like when he was training, he never really cleaned up. So Kaio-sama is pretty pissed off at Goku. But of course we do have bigger problems here. Now, Beerus and Whis were pretty much talking about how it's kind of ironic and strange that Black had the time ring, and they're trying to look into where exactly he was able to find the ring because they were intrigued by the whole time ring business with Black and how someone like that was able to get that time ring, and of course comparing his ki because they were often comparing his ki to somebody they remembered, someone they knew about before, but they couldn't really put the pieces together until towards the end of the episode. They put 2 and 2 together, and now they're going to conduct their own investigation as to what's going on. Now we see Black in the future. Black is a psycho. I love Black so much because he's a psychopath. I mean, we see him, he's hovering over the city. He's kind of confused, but at the same time, he's testing something. Now, what does he test? He tests Goku's abilities. Now, prior to him even doing anything, we get to see little remnants and snippets and shadows of Goku within his own body, sort of like formulating all around him and stuff, which kind of indicates that not only did he steal Goku's fighting moves and his fighting abilities, but he also retained his battle memories, which also means and begs the question, does he know about the battles with Frieza? Does he know about the battles with Cell? Does he know about the battles with Buu? Does he know about the battles with Beerus and even Hit? So if he's actually able to retain those battle memories, that's going to make him so dangerous because if you're able to retain someone's memory, you're ultimately able to pick up as to what they have done prior to, you know, your battle with them. So now Black has somewhat of an inside window as to how Goku operates, what moves he uses, possibly the instant transmission, the spirit bomb. We have the Kamehameha wave, in which case he already uses. So we see him retaining Goku's memory, Goku's fighting style. So what kind of creature is this? We've never seen someone who is ultimately able to mimic someone's fighting style and whatnot, aside from someone like, you know, Super Buu, who was able to absorb somebody, but that's complete absorption. That's dealing with someone who completely stole someone's body, and in which case Perfect Cell's, I guess you could say, fighting demeanor as well, but then again, he was created in a laboratory, so we've never really seen someone adapt other people's, you know, fighting styles while fighting them at the exact same time. So that's very interesting if you ask me. Next week's episode, again, guys, we're gonna have Gohan reemerge, and in any case, I really wonder how that conversation is gonna go about, because I'm pretty sure that Trunks is gonna be like, oh wow, so like you're currently the strongest one, aren't you? Because last time I left here, you were presumably enough the strongest fighter in the world, and I can't wait to see Gohan's explanation, because again, guys, keep in mind, Gohan has been away for a long ass time. Some of you guys hate Gohan, a lot of you guys want me to roast Gohan, even till this day after my Vegeta and Frost roast, so the Gohan roast is coming, guys, but of course, I want to see what's gonna play off with this week's episode, because we get to see Gohan, he's interacting with Trunks, and they're having like somewhat of a peaceful time. I guess you could say like reminiscing on like, you know, peaceful moments and like the precious qualities about life, because we see Trunks and Gohan, they're sitting there obviously watching Pan play, so they're probably like just thinking about life in and of itself, Trunks having to lose, you know, Bulma and stuff like that. But in this particular episode, we never really saw future Mai wake up or anything like that. Like, I mean, we saw her in the previous episode, we saw how she pretty much moved her arm, but there was no clear indication that she woke up. So I found that very strange, because I really thought that, you know, at some point Mai was gonna wake up and realize what had happened, but in this particular episode they didn't really do that, which doesn't make sense to me at all, because in next week's episode we're gonna have Beerus, Whis, and Goku go to Universe 10 where they confront Zamasu, and in any case we have Gohan and Trunks talking to each other, but then again it's like, what's going on with Mai? Is she awake? What's going on? So I do think that she's gonna awake and possibly have more involvement with everyone else at some given point, but it didn't make that much sense to me. So again, if you want to know my overall thoughts on this week's episode, guys, I would have to say it was enjoyable. I mean, I'd much rather prefer last week's episode over this one. This one wasn't nearly as good as last week's, but then again, we have more of an inside window as to what happened with Black and how he was able to pretty much destroy humanity, how he was growing stronger, how he steals people's fighting poses and fighting techniques and stuff, which again is very, very, very weird, because we've never seen someone do that before, aside from someone absorbing another person, in which case that never happened at all. Black isn't absorbing people's bodies, he's simply, you know, retaining memory while in combat. So if you guys want to talk about Hit being strong, Hit's a motherfucking beast, but I can't wait to see what Black can do, and a lot of people are underestimating Black's powers, they're underestimating his ability, but I think that as the show gradually progresses, we're gonna find out more as to how powerful this guy really is. But let me know your overall thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you guys think of this episode? What do you guys think could have improved in this week's episode? And do you guys firmly believe that Zamasu is in fact Black Goku, or do you guys believe that Black Goku, Goku Black, is an entirely different being? Comment down below and simply let me know, guys. Thank you all for watching. Once again, tune in for more. I mean, I am so excited to see the direction of Dragon Ball Super, because over the last several weeks, we've gotten so much concrete evidence that this arc is going to be really, really fast-paced, really, really good, with lots of like twists and turns. We don't really know if Zamasu is indeed who he is, or if in fact Black turns out to be Zamasu. We don't really know what's going on with the time ring, how Zeno is going to be involved, because obviously he's definitely going to have a huge part to play in this, or even if Gohan's going to fight. Can you imagine Gohan versus Black? Even though I do believe that Black would completely murk Gohan without a shadow of a doubt, I still stand firm that Trunks is going to try to talk some sense into him. Again, guys, I will do my prediction video alongside featuring a lot of your comments in the upcoming predictions video, in which case I'm really excited to talk about, because I'm really intrigued as to, you know, like first of all, where is Zamasu? I mean, obviously he's probably residing on his current planet, but then again, we can't really say for sure. Lots of lore building. This dude looks very sinister, so I don't really think that this guy is in fact a good person. I might be wrong. This guy could be very, very benevolent, but I really doubt that. I mean, obviously Beerus and Whis don't have any proof to back up their claims that yes, indeed, Zamasu and Black are the same people, but then again, I really wouldn't be too surprised if Zamasu is lying to everyone and in fact he is Black in disguise. But then again, you have to ask yourself, like, how in the world is Black even stealing people's energies and techniques and stuff? He has that one stupid ass earring on that, I mean, that nobody knows what's going on, so where's the other earring? We don't know. Comment down below and let me know, guys. Thank you all for watching. Once again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. If you guys are excited for Dragon Ball Super episode 52, punch that like button right in the face. Imagine if the like button was Black's face. Punch it right in the face, guys. Thank you all for watching. Once again, tune in for the prediction, and I'll be seeing you all later. Take it easy, guys. God bless. Peace.